It's nice though if you're still talking to one another and sort of having communication, having communication with each other and a good line of dialogue, because I think you need to talk to each other and show some kind of maturity between each other. As an example for your kids, to just have a plan and know exactly how much time you can spend with your children and things, and let them know. And tell them as well what's going on most of the time, because not knowing is a lot worse than knowing sometimes.
Like, I have had fights with my parents and everything about sleepovers and all that kind of stuff, wanting to have a sleepover, and they banned me for a whole month. So I got really annoyed and was calling both of them, telling them it was unfair, trying to get one to go, yeah, you can have a sleepover, it's fine. But they both really support each other in their views and everything.
Well, he was just sort of really overbearing for no reason, whereas my mum wasn't like that. So there was a real trouble with communication between them in a way, and sort of discipline between them. But my dad, he wouldn't budge with some things, with silly things, that he had no right, I think, to tell us what to do over, because he wasn't around. My mum was around all the time, so I felt like she had the right to tell me what to do. Whereas my dad, he didn't really know me. He doesn't really know me, so.
They're always smiling. My mum always gets my dad to do the decorating, and he always comes around for dinner, and they always speak properly. So it's a lot better than what it was. They still have the little arguments about, say my dad put the wrong wallpaper up. Then they'd argue about that, but that's as far as it'd go.
For parents to keep up communication afterwards, and of course that will be difficult, and it will be a test of how good you are a person if you can talk to someone who you now suddenly hate or dislike or whatever. So if you can do that, that will benefit the child and the individual much better, because then they will find it easier to communicate with both. They won't feel like they're traitoring their mother if they say call their father at the weekend because they need some pocket money for something or whatever. So I think if you keep up your relationship, your maybe not relationship, but your just sort of mutualness afterwards, the two of you did provide a child to the earth, and the two of you have responsibilities, so you need to make sure those follow up. Child's not for the length of the relationship, it's forever, so I think you have to just think about those things.
It's just hard that they won't speak, because my dad has the original house where we all lived, and my mum's moved out and got a different house. It's hard if my mum wants something from the house, because I have to ask, and then if my dad doesn't agree with it, it's he'll take it out on me but not mean to. But it comes across that way, so it's hard. It's just a hard point that if they don't speak, the child struggles and suffers just because two parents won't speak or just be civil.
They used to always swear at each other, always, and throw stuff at each other. And they don't swear at each other, they just talk to each other like civil people. You would go into a shop and the shop assistant would be nice and you'd be nice to the shop assistant, like that.
I think it's been good that I still get to see them, and they're not awkward when they're talking, because they still know each other, and then they didn't stop talking or something.
They don't hate each other as much, but best friends. Just don't want to argue anymore because it's just stupid, and I could tell it was affecting us. So they just stopped and became best friends out of the blue.